Hey folks, and welcome back to Glenn and Adrian's Rock Talk. That's Adrian.
And that's Glenn.
And today we're going to do our very first video on the band Television, which came out of New York City in the mid-70s. They're another one of those classic bands that played CBGBs all the time and are considered pioneers of something or another. I'm not exactly sure what I would call it, but they are an important band. Their first album, Marquee, I think is something everybody should hear. They didn't put a lot of records out, but that album is pretty much perfect. As a matter of fact, we are going to take a look at a version done 40 years later on stage at the Bowery Ballroom, December 30, 2017. This is a 15-minute version of what's 10 minutes on the record. So the thing about this band is they kind of straddle the punk scene, the whatever the Talking Heads were doing scene, and like the Grateful Dead, because they tended to go on these long extended jams at times, and this was one of the songs that would be a vehicle for that. And they tended to have a lot of the same touchstones, so we'll hear things that are on the album. It goes through a whole bunch of moods and things, and I just thought that was fascinating for a band playing CBGBs and mostly doing stuff that is kind of off the wall a little bit, but very tuneful anyway. I just really don't have words to describe it exactly. I just thought watching this would be a good start. So, Adrian, have you heard of the band Television before?
Yeah, I listened to a couple of songs on the album, actually. And,
yeah? What'd you think of those?
They're good.
Pretty interesting singing by Tom Verlaine, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
He's funny. I mean, he's serious, but he's funny. His voice is kind of amusing. So he doesn't take himself too seriously, but it lends itself to the music, and there's just something really great about it. Without further ado, let's go ahead and check this out, and we will discuss afterwards.
All righty.
Well, so what'd you think about that, Adrian?
I thought that was one hell of a clever song.
Goes places you wouldn't expect, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I just like the way the song is put together.
Mm-hmm.
Like with the guitars in the beginning, you got each guitar playing like a small part, and you put them both together, and it's like the basic riff of the song.
Yeah, totally. And then you've got the bass doing the weird thing, boom, 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 like pretty much through the song, except for when you get to the pre-choruses and things. But yeah, very clever, really cleverly put together, very angular sound, I would say, something like that. Like those three guitars coming in kind of from different points of view and meeting and having a productive conversation, or arrangement, I guess. Let me just shout out everybody in the band here. Okay, so Billy Fica on drums, Richard Lloyd on the other electric guitar, holding things down, and Fred Smith on bass guitar. Now, since this time, of course, Fred Smith has passed away and Tom Verlaine has passed away. So it's just good to get something a little bit later on in their career where they're still having a good time, it looks like, bringing this song out onto the edge, essentially, of where you might expect. I mean, imagine if the Ramones suddenly did this in the middle of a song. Where are they going? But they tended to experiment a bit, and I think that's really admirable. Especially for a band in the middle of the New York scene, kind of having its own thing.
Yeah, it was kind of part of the early punk scene, I guess. And punk might supposedly be amateur musicians, but these guys played superbly, and the writing is genius.
Yeah. I love this stuff, too. I really do. I really think it's a worthwhile. I mean, honestly, that first album, everybody should give it a listen if they just like music, especially stuff from that time period. They're unique in a lot of ways. How about the number of different guitar players that we could hear the influence of, or at least different cultures and things that Tom Verlaine was throwing in that solo? I mean, there were things that sounded distinctly Eastern to my ears, or Middle Eastern, or, I mean, those guys, Anjo de Ponton, I always get the...
Angine de Poitrine.
Yes, that's it. You got it right. I can never get the pronunciation right. You know how they play with quarter tones and, they kind of experiment a bit. Well, I mean, I could hear even a little tiny bit of that in there. Like, I almost wonder if those guys were fans of television, I found myself wondering if there were other bands from later on that were fans of television. They were something unusual. They were original. That's a hard thing to be, and they were it. Big kudos to them. Big appreciation for the band as it was and for the guys that have passed on, and definitely worth your time. I really enjoyed that. I've never seen that clip before. It just looked promising, And thanks to those of you that stuck it out, because I know maybe at the beginning you're like, well, this is just four guys, right? What are they doing? I don't know, But it took a minute, and then you're like, whoa, no, there's some interesting stuff going on here.
Yeah.
Well, any closing thoughts, Adrian?
Well, I could just see sitting back, being mellow, and just letting the tune wash over you as you chill.
I absolutely agree with you on that, but I couldn't help but notice the girl pogoing in the front row there. For much of the song, even the parts that theoretically were supposed to be a little mellower, because they kept this energy in the air, that kind of kept things a little unsettled and like, oh, where are they going next? And all that. And I think a little bit of giddiness came out of that too, But yeah, enthralling, certainly relaxing, and at the same time, all kinds of things. So wonderful stuff. Okay, folks, why don't you let us know what you've thought of this? Give your thoughts. If you've ever heard of television before, if you have Marquee Moon, if you have any thoughts on what we just looked at, by all means, leave it all below. If you ever saw them, tell me about that. Because I find that very interesting. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. And if you enjoyed the presentation, please subscribe. All right, thanks so much for joining us today. We will catch you on the next one. Take care, folks.
See you all later.